Okay, let's think about this. Hey, I hear it's your current self. This is true. So, current self. What would be current self to the current self? Well, that would be the archetype of the person that you identify. So you wake up in the morning, hey, there I am. I'm right here. I am my current human. Okay, so I like to do these every once in a while so I can prove to other that I'm embedded with my partner and I'm trying to wean off an outside influence. Because isn't that true to the human? Is that you hope to find a plus one, another human that makes you better, not worse, than the baseline of which every day you, what are you doing on a daily basis? You are accumulating to a larger narrative of yourself to a point where your energy can sustain whatever you want to do on a cyclical moment in time. Because you'll have X number of cyclical moments based on velocity, of which that velocity will determine how other perceives you in the evolution of what you know. That's it. Hey, are you sure your current self sounds pretty? Again, why I'm doing these is I can kind of understand what his premise is. Okay, so let's just document the last several days of the last teaching. Okay, so if you wake up and you really want to know a larger narrative, do you or do you not? And so you can go through a cyclical time frame at least 100 times around a big, fiery rock that will fuel everything on another rock. And then that rock has to figure out, okay, we're talking Earth. I'm going to really try to be simplistic here. So then the Earth goes to its father. And why would it be father? Well, I've identified it way back. And who knows, maybe these could just come forth. But I have actually had an experience with the father as the son. And see, it's like father of the SUN, not the SON. And so that's why I identify soul, not with a U, but with an SOL. These are all just hilarious. So someone in a previous multiple lifetimes said soul. And then someone said, well, that must be soul. And then you're like, no, man, that's in your node. And then your node is like, what? I go, well, that's your memory packet. And you take out your memory packet after, you lose all your energy of your micros to keep you the unit that you are, which is human, which you're up here. And then you're like, oh my God, my humanness as a bio unit is going to change. And you're like, yep. So that just ramble is the current self. So the current self has recognized all this and he's like, what? And so if you record, so listen to this, because this is a wise thing to do, because who knows you better than you? So your plus one, you would hope that your plus one is like, he's doing this and he's doing that, and they recognize pattern types, but only you really understand you. And at the end of your bio-ness, it's only going to be you, unless you have a different story. And then tell me about the story, because what this guy has done is I have an infrastructure at a higher level. And what does that mean? Well, an infrastructure is a patterning system of which a fractal is embedded. So I am making a fractal for what I believe to be true. So my truth is a fractal. And so what a fractal is it's the same thing, larger and smaller. And so what you have to do is lock into a certain scale, and then that scale has all this information, and you listen to this information, you understand it, you place it, and then you go forth. Then you're working just your craft, because what you know is that then there is just this frequency of which you're locked into, and it all makes sense, and hopefully, everything is just, because what the human has done is he or she has made all these, hey, you have to do this, you have to do that, and you accumulate man-made things, and some things, you place importance on man-made things, but you have to recognize that as soon as you prioritize what these things are, you may or may not put more importance on things that really do not put you in fundamental well-being. Are you in fundamental well-being? Do you want to go and just always be in this well-being? And you're like, well, you'd have to define what that means. Well, a well-being is just in this lightness. I like lightness. Nothing really has too much or if it does, just understand the counter to that is always in play. So you really want to live, again, I'm talking to me, but if it resonates with you, you can take this. You want to live kind of a balanced life. So what you want to do is you want to define your bandwidth and allow that bandwidth some ups and downs. But if you can get it in a rhythm, so a balanced rhythm, because then you can recognize the rhythm. And then what's beautiful is if you're interacting with other, that then actually in a real-time application, you first have to recognize what the other's belief system is in the frame rate in which you're currently experiencing. And those that are extremely talented at perceiving what they believe the other is communicating to, then it's a beautiful give and take. Because everyone should be trying to understand what their infrastructure is, and then allowing other infrastructure to either expand one's own infrastructure, or to say, you know what, that belief does not coincide with mine, and so I'm going to place it, and I'm going to understand why that's a truth to the person I'm talking to, and either segment it over there and go, hey, I'm not going to really tap into that because it doesn't expand, or it doesn't go into my flow of my infrastructure. It's really some good stuff there. So it's, again, and then when you say words that have no previous meaning, why is that? Well, it's a bridge. So it's a bridge to a thought to another thought. Or is it, and what is feelings? Can we document that you understand what feelings is? Feelings is, at its core, it's energy. It's a collection of deep, what was it? I just heard myself say this, but I wasn't under my current self. So a feeling is a collection of deep, that's the word. I got to find that word in my current narrative, because feeling is it is a deep collection of information from previous something other, maybe. And then what you do is you either determine if it's a sensation, it's just like, look, we need to listen to this guy, or it's intuition going, hey, you should really recognize that feeling, and then you take that feeling into a thought, And then the thought can be then into an experience, and then an experience is what this actually is now. Oh, no. Now it's a memory packet, and you're over.